Good evening, my family and friends. Welcome once again to Brother Charlie's Cooking Show. This is the continuation, the second version of my demonstration on how to make stuffed peppers, requested by my dear friend Kathy Chapman. So this evening, I'm going on to the pepper part, how to make and boil the peppers, because the last session that we had, we made the stuffing, the meat stuffing, which is now ready to go into the peppers. I'm going to show you a little trick here about your cutting board. I don't know if you've ever done this, but have you ever had the experience of when you're chopping something, your cutting board is slipping all over like it's on ice or whatever? Anyway, what I do, I cut out these little things from the shelving material, and I make about 4 of them. One for each corner of your cutting board. Stick those under there and it'll prevent your cutting board from slipping and sliding away. There you go. That's what I do. Anyway, I learned that. I don't know how I learned it, but I did. It just came to me. Okay, now we have 6 medium-sized stuffed, or not stuffed yet, just peppers, plain pepper, red and yellow peppers. Greens are okay too, but you know what? These are very sweet. Your reds and yellows are sweeter. So anyway, here, we cut the top off. I've got 5 of them already prepared. Slice the top off. And cut out the innards, of course. Get all the seeds and the veins out of there, whatever they call. They're not called veins, but there's something, I forget what they call them. Anyway, the tough things there. Those tough parts. Throw that in your garbage. And then you, now I've come to experience that this is the best utensil for me to scoop out the things, the veins or whatever they call them. I forget what they're called. I think you know. Anyway, this is perfect. It's got like a sharp kind of an edge on my tablespoon of measuring thing. And you scoop it out. Scoop the veins, whatever they are. The tough line things there. Get it way to the bottom there. You don't want it tough on the bottom. So there you go. You've got the water is almost ready to boil. I'll put in your peppers. There, okay. See, you've got those all cleaned out of there, the tough parts, veins or whatever they are. I know they're not called veins. I forgot to write it down. It's in the cookbook, but I forgot. Wait a minute, no, the cookbook's right here. Let's see what those are called. Those are called. Okay, remove the seeds, that's that right. Cut the thin top off the top part, and then you remove the seeds and the membranes, that's it, membranes. Scoop those membranes out of there, they're tough. And then it says rinse the peppers, but I've already washed my peppers. Oh, by the way, don't forget, before you start cooking, to wash your hands get them very well done, very well washed, especially with this COVID-19 going around, you know. Okay, so we got that. Let's see, now is the water boiling? Let's see. Why? I've been watching that pot too long. They say you watch a pot, it never boils. That's what they say. Anyways, come on. I'll put them in now. They'll be ready. The nice yellow ones and the red ones. Make sure you got them covered. Make sure they're covered fully. Otherwise the top or rim of them will be tough probably. Let them sink down in there. Get the water in the middle. Sink them down really good. Or very well. Okay. Don't burn your fingers on the water though. That'd be terrible. Okay, I think we can get, yes, I can get all 6 in there. Hold on. And then I'll shove them down with this utensil here. There, perfect. Yeah, they're well covered. Now you're going to boil those, once it starts boiling, you boil those for about 5 minutes. You don't want to go over too much, maybe 6 minutes, 6 at the most, but don't go like 10 minutes or whatever. They'll be too soft. They'll come out when you're stuffing them with the meat stuffing. they'll just rip apart on you. I've learned that mistake before, or I've made that mistake before. So that's how I learned not to overcook them. You want them, I mean, you want them done enough so that they're not bitter, but you don't, or too tough, but you do want to have them so they're not going to rip apart when you're stuffing. Okay. Now, while we're waiting that to boil, for that to boil, once it starts boiling, I will set this little timer, my little ladybug. We have a stove here, not like our lovely stainless steel one that we had down at the house in Momenz, which had a lovely clock on it and a timer on the stove. This one, unfortunately, has no clock or timer on it. So I had to go to the, where did I buy this? Oh, Kroger's, I think. Anyway, it's a cute little ladybug, it's a timer. So once it starts, I'll give that, you give that 45 minutes. Oh no, what am I saying? In the oven, I'm thinking of baking now, no. You give that about, remember what I said, 5 to 6 minutes boiling. Boiling. I'm getting confused here. In the meantime, while we're waiting for this to boil, I will explain. This was the recipe, remember, from the 1986 Betty Crocker cookbook. See that? But I'm going to we'll double this recipe, okay? Because they've only got 1 pound of ground beef on this recipe, and that's not going to stuff 6 peppers. So we'll double it, and we will have the also, plus, okay, 1 pound of ground beef. I'll give you the ingredients now for this doubled recipe, okay? 1 pound of your ground beef. You have a pen in hand with paper? 1 pound of your ground beef, and then 1 pound of your ground Italian sausage. Now you can buy it like in the bulk Italian sausage, or if you can't find that, you can also buy it in a link and just take it out of the casing, you know, and chop it up in with your ground beef. So that's a pound of ground beef, a pound of ground Italian sausage, which I like. They've got mild. There was a lasagna recipe in a Taste of Home cookbook that I saw, and they had mild Italian sausage mixed with your beef in your lasagna. But the lady said she liked it hotter. So it's up to you. And then, okay, it says the single recipe was 2 tablespoons of chopped onion. Now that would be 4 tablespoons, double, but I would use like a medium size, I'd use a full medium size onion chopped in this doubled recipe. Okay, now with salt, if you double the recipe with salt, you don't double and have 2 teaspoons of salt, you have 1.5, okay? That's 1 teaspoon plus 1/2 teaspoon, because you don't want to have too much salt. You might have high blood pressure, it will sky high, you know what I mean? And then 2 cups of your rice. This is a doubled recipe. 2 cups of the cooked rice, got to be cooked, of course. And then it calls for 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt. That's doubling the single recipe, which I would add a little more garlic salt. I would give it a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. And then 2 10-ounce cans of your tomato sauce, which would be in the doubled recipe. It would be a single one. You have in with the meat. You include 1 cup of the tomato sauce. So you double it. You'd put 2 cups of tomato sauce in your meat sauce, in the sauce, and you save the rest for on the top of your peppers when you put it in the oven. Okay. Okay, and then of course at the end, you bake your peppers for 45 minutes, covered with aluminum foil or whatever, and then you uncover it and bake for 15 more minutes with your with the tomato sauce on the top, of course. And then when that last 15 minutes is finished, you sprinkle the grated mozzarella cheese on the top, and then leave it in the oven maybe for a minute or 2 till it's melted, okay? Wait for it to melt. Anyway, is this water boiling yet? It's almost starting. So in the meantime, while we're waiting, since on my YouTube channel and Facebook I sometimes sing, you know, it's usually a singing channel, country music and gospel music, Christmas songs, you know. So I'm going to sing you a little song. While we're waiting, we might as well do something while we're waiting for the water to boil. So it's John Denver's Take Me Home Country Roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountain, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama. Take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather around her, miner lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted in the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home, country road. There you are, mixing my Brother Charlie's cooking show with my Brother Charlie's music. Thank you very much. Now, is this thing boiling yet? I haven't started yet. I'll have to sing another song. Just kidding. Come on. Okay. Start boiling. Then, you know, when it starts to boil, sprinkle a little salt in there. Sprinkle a little salt. There you go. They say that salt is supposed to prevent it from boiling over. I don't know. I've never experienced it. Although I've had pots boil over plenty of times, and I don't really know if the salt helps. Especially when I'm doing rice in that steamer, it overflows all the time. That's why I put a tray underneath it so it doesn't get all drip all over and get on the floor, roll off the counter onto the floor. You know. Oh, come on. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to stuff one just to show you how we do it here, even though it isn't yet quite cooked. Okay, well, we are getting some. That one might be a little tough, but that's okay. There's your little 8x8 or 9x9 dish. So we will stuff one a little early, but it'll be all right. I think it's almost cooked. But remember, don't go over 6 minutes, okay? Now, here's my little utensil which I use quite often for filling things. And in this case, we're filling a stuffed pepper. Yes, we are the stuffed pepper. Okay, there you go. You know this comes in handy. Stuff that pepper. There, okay. It's it's after you boil them for about 5-6 minutes, maybe 7 at the most. There, I stuff them full. maybe when they only had 1 pound with this first recipe here in the book, maybe they only stuffed theirs half full, no wonder. So anyway, you stuff them like yay. And then eventually, you will pour your tomato sauce on the top. Sprinkle some of that on the top of your stuffed pepper. Okay. You know, I'll finish the others after the show is over. For late supper. Put that in there. So there you are, that's what you're doing. And you'll put that in the oven, covered. What I do, I spray my aluminum foil because you don't want the tomato when the cheese is on there, it'll stick. Lately I've been buying the butter flavored non-stick cooking spray because you know I love the taste of butter. Anyway, so that's what you're going to do. Cover all your peppers up and put them in the oven. There you are. I've got the oven preheated. And then you bake them for 45 minutes. Take the cover off. Let them go for 15 more minutes. And then sprinkle with the cheese and let that melt. And you're done. And they are delicious. Okay, Kathy? You like that show? Thank you very much. God bless everyone and have a very blessed Merry Christmas and a safe, Happy New Year. Showered with many blessings from heaven. Thank you again.